Good evening, folks, and welcome back to Biblical Britain Uncoded, or Matrix Uncoded, Ancient History Uncoded, and pretty much, well, certainly not just the Bible. Okay, right. I've had two and a half weeks since the last video. I got absolutely nothing, and I kind of sat back and just waited, and then all of a sudden, as it always does, I start getting drip fed the information, and it's led me to find something absolutely, well, quite honestly, bone chilling. Part of it is quite bone chilling. Yeah, bone chilling is the only word I can use. We're about to reveal the Antichrist and something very, very sinister that goes along with it. But I'm going to show you it in the most unbelievable code again that just comes. You know, I often sit there after the last code because I don't know where the next code is going to take me, and you know, I wonder, is this it? Has it come? But it obviously never lets me down. And there's been a bit of a delay, but obviously I'm not in control of the timing of this. It's not down to me, and it seems to just drip feed it to get it to, to be put out for whatever reason at a certain time, like so it kind of parallels, well, events, as you're going to see, because we've got a follow-on timeline on this next code. Right, okay, I'm just going to do a quick recap. So anybody that's new to this channel and watching this, what I show you is code that is written, well, as you can see on the board, we've got star code, Atlas pit code, Cancer, Solomon symbol, Bible code, and we've got, basically, it's kind of a mixture of, well, it's just everything. It's all in creation, but it's far more than just the rewritten ancient Welsh Bible. Okay. Right, the first, again, I'm just going to do a recap. So what I've done, I put this on the board. These are the titles. Now I'm going to read, just so you can see that this is not just kind of me plucking stuff out the air. And really, you should realise that I'm not just creating this stuff from my own head. In fact, there's things that, honestly, it's just astonishing, the things that I get given. Okay, so the first title, Put Up Map SOS. Again, I can't go through it all, but if you put the constellations in order, the left-hand column, the first row, is, I forget now, Pleiades, the Seven Sisters, Ursa Major, I think it is, Telescopium, the telescope, Ursa Minor, I think. I forget the exact code, the exact constellations, but basically what you get is down the side you get the timeline. Then you take the full, every letter in all those constellations, and then you uncode the actual message. Okay, so put up SOS map. I already did that, obviously, in previous videos. But the actual constellation message says, the James Webb Telescope has seen the Argus ship Armada. I bear witness that the Argus, a Titan mothership, arrives, acquires the H target, course reset to Earth. Report true, disclosure soon. Seal RGH, tie event site. I greet Siluri H at Temple. Connect Atlas Cornwall code on USA. Now there's more code in between this one, but obviously I can't go through them all, but this one kind of summarises it to some degree, because now we've got the California scythe on the map of America. Basically, there's a great big scythe, and all you do is join up the place names, then use the place names to uncode the message. Amazingly, both pictures I drew long ago with, well, I don't know how I did it, but obviously now, and then kind of 2-3 years later, I find the code in them that actually relate to the time we're in. So effectively, I prophesied with a picture, but not realising that, well, there was a bigger message in it. Okay, so the California scythe message, which obviously represents a reaping and a harvest, the top part of it is actually on California, and this is going to become apparent in the latest code. And California is an anagram of a corn I fail. So what you've got is California is a corn I fail scythe. So it's the failed corn, which leads us to the burning of the corn and the Palisades fire. This will become apparent as we go on. Okay, but the California side says, Marco seen my end war map, sets an angel sign. Dollar collapses, US won't save Israel. Again, there's more behind that one, but it's obviously in the previous video. Okay, then we've got the spearhead code. Right, then we moved on to the next video. What we had is basically, again, I drew a spear and it's on the map. I can redraw it again, but I've done videos on it again, and that says, right, now bear in mind at this point we're getting drones coming down. They're all over, well, they're all over America, and incidentally they haven't gone away, but they really are covering them up. Okay, the spear code says, he will click when Manchester drone lands. He will see why Marco's H. Unlock Starcraft, cement secret CCB code mailing. Okay, what that refers to is basically use the crescent moon and the beehive cluster in Cancer. Cancer is all on this is all to do with the Solomon symbology for the temple, which we've uncoded, which is at Kaiwent, in a place known now as Ventus Ilurum, but the real Jerusalem. Okay, now the B code and the beehive cluster together said C secret CC on Mon truth, believe H. Again, like I say, you'd have to go back if you want to see how that works, but it's phenomenal. Absolutely way too much information to be coincidence. Okay, then we take a strong delusion. Okay, it says that I send a strong delusion so that they might believe the lie. Okay. A strong delusion is actually an anagram of US drones and then tag lion. Okay, and there we go to the next star code, which was okay, again, this is the same thing. What I did is, again, you used, I can't remember, Ursa Minor, I actually forget the names, but basically when you put USA drones down the side, put the constellations across, unscrabble the message, this is what it says. It says, and this is where, right, okay, it says, quash out a foolish rhetoric, Trump to paint a lie. New Jersey truth, we orbit Earth, target Jerusalem. Argus drone to acquire threat data. Attach spearhead, connect H-man, thus true Messiah. Okay, then this is where the strong delusion, because the US drones gives you the USA drones code, but obviously it says thus true Messiah. Now the H-man, basically Messiah is an anagram, it's same as H, but the lion from the tribe of Judah is uncoded as Judah's lion. Uncode that, it says only U, ID as H. Okay, so that is a quick recap as to where we've got so far, just to show, and now we're about to take this a step further, and well, not one code, but a few codes. There's one of them is so obvious now, but given what it is, it's absolutely astonishing. Okay, I will make a point as well. On the last video, I said Trump to paint a lie. I said I trying to obviously read the code, and I said I think that Trump is going to say that the drones are from China and Iran. Okay, now I question this. Obviously, since then, Trump has painted a lie because he got his spokeswoman or whatever she is, spokesperson. Basically, and what he's done, he's thrown the dog a bone, really, and for want of a better terminology, he's thrown the dog a bone, and he said, we know what the drones are. It was all FAA approved. It was all approved by the FAA, and it was for research and other purposes. Clearly a lie, and nobody in I can tell you in the kind of UFO community or anybody who's looking into it, and people in New Jersey absolutely dismiss it's absolute nonsense, because you basically fighter jets chasing these things off. And not only are there these they're calling them drones, but really they're UFOs or UAPs. They're unidentified aerial phenomena. That's what UAP is. And basically what you've got are plasma orbs. They're orbs, and they're shape shifting. They're moving at a colossal speeds, changing direction. Absolute nonsense, obviously. So Trump has started to paint the lie. I get it. I just get the strong sense, and this is what I feel that I'm being given, is that give it time, that really, and at some point, he's going to basically use this to go to war with China and Iran, or Iran first, then China, which we'll be coming on to because that's part of the code as well. Okay, I'm just going to hold you there while I put up the next set of star constellations and the incredible message and timeline that is kind of encoded in it. Bear with me, folks. Okay, folks, the latest set of star code, or with the star code message. Sorry, as you can see, the latest set of star code messages. What we've got basically is a timeline from, obviously put up the map SOS with the James Webb Telescope spotting. Basically, it's confirmed it. Again, there's a lot more to that code, but you have to go back through the videos. But then you follows with the USA drones, and what followed, well, the drones are still ongoing, make no bones about that, but they're not just seen over New Jersey. It was only making New Jersey, they went there really, I think, to make the point, so that it can be confirmed in the code of the USA drone code, which says New Jersey Truth. Okay. Following on from, along with the kind of drone thing, or the UAP thing, the Palisades fires broke out in Los Angeles. Okay, now Los Angeles, the birthplace of Lucifer, or the LU cipher, Larry Fink. More to come on that one. Right, okay, I'm not going to ruin it, but we'll get into that. Okay, so, but he was born there basically, and it's also an anagram of Los Angeles loses angel. Well, he was cast out, so he did lose an angel, and basically what you've got, fallen angels. Okay, well, they're running the show. The Fink's Fallen Few, FFF 666. Okay, so Palisades fire, we got the Pleiades again. Now note the Pleiades it literally appears in every one of these codes in one form or another. I tell a fib, US drones didn't, USA drones, no, that one didn't, but certainly the first one and this one, basically, I think there's another shorter codes with it though, but either way, obviously we can't stay behind the sweet influences of the Pleiades written in the book of Job. The sweet is the sugar. It's all to do with, and sugar is an anagram of Argus, which is the name of the ship that is basically the evac ship when everything goes bad. You'll notice as well, it's interestingly, you've got a lizard, a serpent, the eagle of America, a dragon, obviously that's a reptile, a scorpion with a sting in its tail. The fire is Fornax the furnace, and this is kind of, it's weird how it happens, because if you get one of these wrong, you cannot unscrabble the message. Miraculously, again, like winning the code lottery, I did it again, and I just managed to do it. There are hints in it. Pleiades, you can sure as anything. See, even Palisades has the word please ID in it, but you have to use the E twice. Well, actually, if I use yeah, well, let's just, but you can see it, Pleiaseid. Well, that was the first kind of hint, so I thought Pleiades, it's got to be the Pleiades. I know this one, is to do with TRUMP, Trump. This one has got an LZ in it and an alert. An Indian, with that one, it's not too difficult. Obviously, I've used it twice in two separate words, but Indians and America, along with the eagle, go hand in hand. Okay, the pony, I'm not sure what the poor pony's doing in there, but I think these QU ones are kind of connectors, like octans. The octant is a connecting one. Reticulum, the only R is reticulum, the I, and the two, well, these are the only two E's as well, in fairness. But really speaking, like I say, when I put these codes up there, I have no clue what they're going to say. Well, I got some idea, but where this leads is absolutely astonishing. Not just this code, but the codes I'm going to show you. Okay, so all I'm going to do now is use all the letters in here. And now I'm going to again reveal the amazing message that Yah, the creator, I don't know how this is even possible, but programmed into this tetragrammaton, the Black Knight satellite, which has downloaded it to me, then provided these remote anagrams into my head, and I go to the place and bingo, every time I obviously find these incredible things. Okay, just bear with me a second, folks. Okay, folks, as you can see, my camera slipped a bit. Bear with me. Right, as you can see, the title, Palisades Fire, that is written down the side. So you have to weigh up the chances of not just, well, that saying that, well, like I say, when you see the amount of code that is actually in this, and what it just confirms everything I've been saying all along, obviously with a few added additions to confirm. Well, I wasn't too sure, but I had a feeling it might go this way. But right, let's just read it first, and then what I'm going to do is, because this breaks into multiple codes confirming different things, as I say. So right, it says Spearhead drone threat data acquired. So that is basically linking it to the previous video, the USA drones, where it said the Argus drones to acquire threat data. Obviously, that must now be done. I'm assuming, because it says drone, I'm pretty sure it's the Manchester drone, the little blue, well, I say little, it's about a metre wide or circumference, whatever. But it, it wasn't small. But I got a feeling that must be the one that's doing the kind of the threat assessment. But like I say, it says we orbit Earth, and now that, well, I'm going to run through it all and put it all in order so you can kind of see where this is going. Right, the next bit is a shocker, and this is not, and there's more to come on this. So any fans of Trump, who is doing the perfect job of this, Trump to play the serpent Pope's Antichrist. He is a cursed liar. Now, bear in mind, it said Trump to paint a lie in the last one. Obviously, he said he's going to end the wars and everything else. Well, we'll see. That is not going to be the case, and we'll get more into that. Okay. He is a cursed liar. Then, right now, cleverly, and this, like I say, there's no way on this earth that I could have followed this. Well, I literally followed this. And just so you know, I uncoded this in probably less than half a day in total. That is the full time, including getting the video ready. That was harder than actually decoding it. But all the codes I'm going to show you have taken me less than half a day. Even though it's been time, it drip feeds it down. I go at it, have a little go, and then I come away from it. Then I'll go back, and then something else drips, and then I go back until I get to the end. And right, so, right, okay. Now it says, use the Eden Lie curse in Venta Silurum. Now, Venta Silurum is the decoded Jerusalem that was changed to Venta Silurum. So, and the Eden Lie curse is actually the apple. There's a mound on the corner of the wall. We'll get into it. Basically, and literally, I decoded it as being the Garden of Eden, and I think that where this mound is like, it's kind of like everything that's bad seems to be piled into that corner, right opposite from where I live. I'm away from it, obviously. Okay, the next part, very clever. It says collect Palisade Fire, use Indiana. And I'll tell you, I will come to that. Then use Sphinx. Then, right, the Sphinx is a code in itself, which relates to Fornax the Furnace and the Phoenix event. Okay, the next part, here's H. This is really, I think this was supposed to go first because it said thus true Messiah. I've obviously done it. It's only you as ID as H, as Judas Lion, and obviously Messiah is same as H. And then I think this should be at the top. I moved it to the back end. I'll explain that. And here's the true RGH LZ. Well, if anybody who knows it knows, the RGH is the hospital I was born, the Royal Gwent Hospital. It's the portal in and the evac out code and the code for the evac out. LZ, which is landing zone, angel icon. Well, going back, I did an angel. I actually created an angel, which again, we'll get into that because I don't want to waste too much time. And then it tells you question, revelation, end, truth. Now this is to do with the Alpha and the Omega and also the 666, because when they rewrote the ancient Welsh Bible, Revelation must be, I think, is the final book of, should be the final, is in the final book of that. But they've added Jesus, number one, and they've also got the Trump down as the Antichrist. Well, they've also got 666 as being the number of the Antichrist, which it isn't. It's actually the number of Lucifer. On that note, bear with me a second, folks. Okay, folks, I've put up, right, it's a bit wonky because obviously there's so much of it and I have to get down practically on my knees to write these in. Right, but I want to just put this in perspective so that there's no doubt that because of the things I need to show you, obviously it goes against everything we know because religion is a complete and utter lie. And whether people want to believe this or not, well, just see this and then we'll go through the Revelation's end truth. And, but if you're a Christian, if you're a Trump supporter even, whatever, do not turn away from this code, because what I'm doing is showing you that there is nobody but the Creator that could have put this into existence. He said, I show you things in ancient times, so when they come to happen, things not yet done. So when they happen, I did it, and I am your Creator and Saviour. There is no other. Well, they don't get, again, I say it all the time, they don't get much more ancient than the star constellations, that's for certain. Bear in mind, we've got pyramid code and the forts are actually all encoded as well. Right, okay, but clearly what we're seeing are these things. Some of this is now coming to, actually come to pass. And bear in mind that I already uncoded the name of this ship. I've got an atlas picture with a full code in it that identifies, and that leads into a whole lot of other code. So basically I prophesied that, the name of the ship and everything being the Argus, Solomon's paper ship. Well, the local paper we're in South Wales, or where I live, in Newport, is the South Wales Argus. That's encoded in Solomon's, the river seal, the Great Seal of Solomon. It's the Sabbath seal, the Sab River, the river in the land of his rule. And that's why I become Siluri H, because I followed it, and that's how I got the code. Okay, right, so just so you can see, I would just want everyone to see that this, how ingenious this is, and there's no way that a security guard, because that's what I'm doing, not stupid, but I'm clearly nowhere near, this is way out of my league for doing it, and without help, without this actually, and you could be the best chef in the world, but unless you've got the right ingredients, you're not going to make the cake. Okay, but it says, so video 1, which is titled Put Up SOS Map, the James Webb Telescope has seen the Argus ship Armada. I bear witness that the Argus, a Titan mothership, arrives, acquires the H target, course reset to Earth, report true, disclosure soon. Seal RGH, because that's the River Jerusalem Temple and the Hill Fort. Hill Fort is the key, that's where the padlock is, and the river is where his rule is written. It's the Sab, changed to Sabrina by Rome, or the early church by Rome. They're behind a lot of it, but basically it's the land of his rule, not the land of Siluria, not Israel, and the chosen tribe of the Siluri, who were based at these forts basically. Okay, so soon Seal RGH Thai event site. I greet Siluri H at temple. Well, it is an ancient temple within. There's the ancient temple, which is also Jerusalem. Where are we? New Jersey Truth. We orbit Earth, target Jerusalem. Jerusalem is Venta Silurum, which is in the latest code as well. We orbit Earth, target Jerusalem, Argus, and I've got a code as well that says that the Vatican hid it, basically, and all of South Wales history is hidden in the depth of the Vatican. And also in the Atlas code, it tells you that the ancient Welsh Bible was rewritten. Okay, which leads us to why Revelations is not quite correct. Okay, well, it's not very, well, we'll get to that. New Jersey Truth. We orbit Earth, target Jerusalem, Argus drone to acquire threat data, attach spearhead. I'm going to skip there, and then it says spearhead drone threat data required. So as you can see, and then you've got I put this one in, just he will click when Manchester drone lands, unlock Starcraft. That probably should go there, I suspect, because I don't know. But either way, you can clearly see that how this all correlates. And so you've got the timeline of well, I'll put up the map SOS of me it was only last September the 27th, and since then this plus a ton of other code has all come to light. Tells you clearly the James Webb Telescope spotted it. So you got the put up map SOS, the James Webb Telescope spotting it, the USA drones event followed by the Manchester drone. That was before. That should I guess that should be before, but obviously it says attached spearhead, but that is the spearhead is in kind of in that as well. So it could go either way, but it clearly tells you spearhead drone threat data required. Okay, I'm gonna have to shift on from that one, but as you can see, there's no coincidences there. Okay, the first thing I want to quickly just show you, just so you know, because the first time I saw this mound on the corner of, basically on the corner of Ventus Ilurum, bear in mind that the code itself says use the Eden Lie curse in Ventus Ilurum and connect Palisades Fire. Right, okay, the first time I saw it, first thing that hit me, I thought pareidolia, because this mound absolutely perfectly, I've done it, if you go back to the Eden videos, you'll see it. It's a perfect apple. The reason the Cancer constellation is used as well, because it's the crab apple of Eden, and a crab apple has a cyanide poisonous core. And this is the whole thing of this being, well, as you'll see, there's an awful lot of poison connected with this. Okay, right, but just so you know, again, just so you know it's not a fluke, right, we'll be doing, right, there's a template, basically, a map template on Solomon's Temple. The temple at Mon is template Mon. Mon is Monmouthshire, which is where Jerusalem and Ventus Ilurum is. Okay, I've gone through all this, but what you do is you draw the arch there. This is it's all to do with the Royal Arch in Cancer, and this is your Royal Arch. Then you put the Cancer constellation on the map, but this is a template. I think on the map it kind of runs this way, but what you've got are the 1, 4, and I've been using this map long before I got confirmation of it as well. So you've kind of got the 2 forts, but on the template, this is, okay, this would be Holyhead, Anglesey, and the code for it, actually I've done that, let's do it the other way. It's Uda, which is Wales. Biblically, Uda is Wales, it's code for Wales. And what you've got is Canaan is England and Egypt is Exeter. I know this is going to sound far-fetched to people, but go back through and see how all this confirms isn't impossible. But what you have is a K-E-Y, the key to unlocking the true Holy Land. Okay, this is the shape of the Cancer constellation. There's 5 stars and there's 11 stars in Cancer, which we'll come to now because that comes with its own message that relates to this as well. Okay, so we've got the K-E-Y. Right, this is, on the map, this would be Swindon, this would be Exeter, this would be Anglesey, Holyhead, Anglesey. But if you look at what you've got, the root thing of it is to seek, S-E-E-K-Y-A-H, Yah, seek Yah, Yah is the creator, and that's what you need to do. Okay, we'll come back to this now, actually. I'll leave that there. Okay, the Eye of Providence is a code, and all you do is you fill in the blanks, provides evidence. Once you rewrite it, I provides evidence of, and then what you have is E-V-E-S, Eve's ID. Okay, so Eve's ID is the Apple Mound. Right. Essentially what you have, this is the Key Hill Fort, this is the real Solomon's Key. It's a hill fort in Wales, literally, when you look down on it, it's in the shape of a key. What you've got then is you've got the fort of Ventus Ilurum, and on the corner is this apple mound, literally, it's kind of, how's it going, something along that lines, and even the steps and everything is basically it draws this perfect apple. But obviously you've got the Cancer, and then you've got this crab apple attached to it. The line doesn't run through that, it goes off there, but I'll keep it there for now. Right, so what you've got is Eve's ID, the place where, well, I'm assuming it's the place where the first act, because he says, I tell you the end from the beginning. He also says, in the place I said I'm not your people, when he divorced the Siluri, not the Israel and all that, is Ra lies. Ra lies. That's what Israel is, an anagram of Ra lies. Well, when you know that Ra is the serpent, decoded serpent from the Garden of Eden, this all clearly makes sense. Okay, now this is where it gets really crazy. Right, where do I start? Actually, bear with me a second. I'll have to redraw this, but bear with me. Okay, so, right, the first thing I'm going to show you, right, all the stars in Cancer. Right, the kind of evac I just showed you is the 5 stars that make up the actual Cancer symbol in the sky. They're the kind of 5 main recognised ones. That's what you'll see in the night sky. But really in total, there are 11 stars. Amazing, if you put 5 and 11, that actually gives you the date of the US election 2024. I'm sure it's part and parcel of the code, so I put it, I did mention it at the time when I realised it. Okay, so we've got a US election, right. What makes it, again, this is just where it gets crazy. Okay, says Israel-Iran begin, opens up last conflict. USA-China, Europe-UK, Russia. Bolt thy last I am due message, seal all. My last I am due message, without getting into it, was written in the solar eclipse warnings, which goes back to other code as well. And it says, as due evac ship land Melin, seal Marco's Orion name. Well, we're going to kind of do that. We've already done it, really. Okay, so, right. Now, obviously Trump is just I don't know what he's thinking. He's playing this Antichrist role to a treat. But they've got some of this wrong, but we'll question the end time truth in a bit. But, well, here's the first one. Okay, the Battle of Armageddon. According to Revelations, that's in the Hebrew tongue, okay? So in the Hebrew tongue, known as Armageddon. Okay, well, let's just disprove that, because the description of the one that brings on the Battle of Armageddon is actually written, unbelievably, in Armageddon. So obvious, well, you wouldn't notice it, but when you get it, it's astonishing. Okay, so we're going to go, right, Battle of the... Now, all I want you to take into consideration with this, now, if the cap fits, wear it. Note the word cap, okay? And because at first I was like a little confused, and then I realised what it was. Okay, so Battle of the Red Armageddon. Well, anybody who's seen it, firstly, MAGA is the acronym, or what they call it, the MAGA movement, Make America Great Again. Trump will always wear the red cap with the MAGA on it, and they also call him the Don. Obviously, Donald Trump, the king, like the kind of the king of Israel, probably. I don't know. There's something really absolute, or he will claim to be the king of Israel, or there's something going on, because he just said that America were going to effectively rebuild and take over Gaza. That's what I don't know where that's going, but I'm sure we'll find out. But the Battle of Armageddon is assumed to be Israel-Iran, and in a place called Megiddo. I think there's probably code in that, but I haven't been given it yet. But ultimately, Israel-Iran begin. Well, this leads to this opening up, and obviously then you have the Battle of Armageddon, which is the one that leads us to the Battle of Armageddon. Is the red Armageddon. It's Donald Trump. Donald Trump is playing the Antichrist role. When it uses it says play, because I'm 99.9% sure that when they rewrote it, they put something in there of their own, and now they're kind of reenacting it. And my theory, and this is a theory at the moment, is that when he puts himself in there, and the Antichrist only rules in Jerusalem, their Jerusalem, for a day, and then Jesus comes down, allegedly, and kind of sorts it out. What happens when he goes in there and Jesus doesn't turn up? You see where I'm going with that. I'm not 100%, but they've clearly rewritten it and added their own Jesus. John's vision that was not John of Patmos' vision at all. And Jesus is a complete and utter, it's just fraud. It's just designed to, well, again, we'll get into this a bit more as we go, okay? But we're already questioning Revelations, because this is not from the Hebrew tongue. Then it's Armageddon. It's clearly not. It's an English anagram to be decoded at the end times, at the time when the red Magadon comes to light. Okay, and not only that, like I say, you couldn't make this stuff up. Okay, we're not finished yet, because it gets more. Believe me, it gets a little more sinister. We haven't even got to the part that put a chill up my spine. But bear with me. Okay, right. Okay, the first thing, right, this is quite complex because it kind of brings in everything. Right, the first thing is, right, the kind of, it seems that Trump's kind of star, or constellation that kind of points to him is Antlia the air pump. And I decoded this before, but it says he pinned liar at Tump. Okay, there's more than one liar at this Tump, the Pope being one, the serpent who gets you worshipping Amen Ra. You know, the false idola, really, or idol Ra as well, but I won't get into that. But he pinned liar at Tump. Well, he's written in there, Trump. Every time Trump comes up, Antlia the air pump is the one that kind of breaks it open for that one. Okay, right, now what you've got, going back, I did an American dollar. This represents, it's on Solomon's Melin seal, which we'll come to actually, is the one with the angel on it, is actually on that. But what you've got is this American dollar symbol. But it's got this line across the top. So what I know, so when I drew it on the map, I basically put it between the lock and the key, because this is, where this is on the map, this was a former US Air Force base, and underneath is basically, well, I've identified it. It was a Cold War bunker. And obviously they've sold it to Fink and his World Economic Forum, or Fink is the one that owns it, Lucifer. And that bunker literally exists underneath. So you can guarantee the Vatican, Trump, and I'm guessing Trump as well, and all these evil people are going there. But it reveals more than that. Okay. There's also this one as well, because this is the 999. This is it represents this star here, Acellus Borealis. I did it on Acellus Australis. Use all the Silu star. And what you do is you take Jacob's ladder. Basically, it decodes as an evac ship, basically, the Argus Navis with the ladder as well. Again, I don't want to go too off the track. But what they're offering you is right. What we've got is the Siluri Cancer, and what it is a Stargate. It's a 999 and the 666. So it's either the Argus or the bunker. It's kind of alternate, as above, so below, I guess. But the there's a reason for showing you the Siluri Cancer Stargate 666, because it says, Trump to play the serpent, Pope's Antichrist. He is a cursed lie. Use the Eden lie curse, invent a Silurum. That's the apple, basically. So what we're going to show is a reskinned apple, because the World Economic Forum, basically, everything going on with Trump has been planned, the whole thing. The only fly, I think, in the ointment was Russia and China pulling out and obviously going their own way, which is causing, which is going to really bring about the whole battle and everything. I don't know what they're playing at, but let me show you what they're planning to do. Okay. If you're a fan of Elon Musk or Trump, you might not be after you see this. Okay, so use the Eden lie curse, invent a Silurum. Where are you? Connect Palisade Fire, use Indiana, then use Sphinx. Okay, right, first thing I'm going to do is connect it to the Palisade Fire. Right, bear with me a second, let's just do this quickly. Actually, bear with me, I'm going to show you now when we connect these words to the Palisades. Okay, folks, this one should put a shudder up your spine. Okay, so following on, we now connect it to the Palisades. The Palisades are in Los Angeles, California. Loses angel, a caught and I fail. Well, that is Fink. He is your 666. He who hath understanding reckon the number of the beast, for it's the number of a man. Well, firstly, Trump is not the Antichrist. That's the first thing. So this is one big question with Revelations that they got wrong. The beast is Fink's fallen few, just reverse it, it's the WEF. What they've done is they've reskinned the apple with and it's a poisonous core. What they've done is basically even Trump is speaking out against the World Economic Forum. He's gone to their Davos, which is also the V in the Lucifer sigil is the V. You just add Davos onto it. The V is the center letter. Okay, but once you unscramble this, what it says is, so Stargate AI, right. Trump has just announced that he's going to basically, he's investing absolutely an astronomical amount into this Stargate AI. And the first thing he used as a lure is cancer. He said, oh, it'll cure cancer and this and that and what have you. But he's a liar, basically. And what they want to do is get this 666. No man to buy and sell because it's going to be connected. Literally, this is not good. They are literally bringing in 666, the mark of the World Economic Forum. And what they've been playing us. That's what it says. The Vatican are playing us. Okay, right, Fink's fallen few and the LU cipher, the Phoenix event. All you do is you just swap the F onto Phoenix. I think as well you can add demon to that, which would put your decipher, the LU decipher, and the one fix mon. The one cure is Mon. Mon is where the Monmouthshire, where the temple is, and everything else, and the evac zone. Okay, so 666 mark of the beast. But tell me, there is no way, and I'm not even joking. This just came to me in a flash. This was the last bit I decoded, and I only decoded about 2 days ago, I think it was. Obviously, since then I've been prepping to try and get this video out. But this was what I knew something was missing, and this was it. I just didn't have the connection between the two. But so clever, because it's using the Palisades fire as an identifier to find the fallen angel and the corn I fail. And what do you do when you fail corn and the harvest comes? That's why the great big scythe is there and the harvest is due. The corn has failed, you burn the fields. And this is a warning, I think, a massive warning to America. And for anybody who thinks Jesus is coming, just it's right, Ra. Every time what they have cut, and the church is blindly following the Vatican. They think it's evil, but it's all the same thing. Amen is an anagram of name, and what it is Amen Ra. This is basically what the and I've got the code as well. It's written in Eridanus. Ra a macabre snake, a curse. Adam his on ruin. Well, Adam his on ruin is the Roman wall. I call them Roman walls. They're not Roman, but it's the four walls, and the apple is the apple sin on the wall. Okay, so every time what you're supposed to do is name who your prayer's going to, but you name Ra, and that's what they've got you doing. They've deceived you into this. Jesus isn't coming. There's an absolutely horrendous plan to basically, and it says the Antichrist as well. Note that it says that he survives a fatal head wound. I think I don't know this, but I think it's all a setup. I think that was an act with Trump, a few blood capsules and a bit of a bit of computer generated video. Anything else that would be brought out, they would question it. Nobody's questioning it. A second sniper shoots the guy in the crowd, and Trump didn't even have a hole in his ear, or he did initially on the video, on the supposed video, but 2 days later he was cured. And when somebody questioned him on, he said he heals quickly. Absolute nonsense. A bullet would rip your ear it would split it. You'd literally be split. So I honestly think that this is what they're doing, and they're acting. They're bringing in Ra is an entity. I've seen the thing. Oh, I don't want to even get into it, but let me tell you, it's a parasite, and I think that Trump is carrying, after the invocation, I think he probably is taking it from Biden, and this thing has been jumping through history. Looks more like a flatfish, this thing, like a stingray, and I like to say, I don't want to sound like a lunatic, but I've seen it with my own eyes. There's even a code. Aries the Ram, it says, Met Ra alarm. Yeah, and the look in his eye when I saw it was more concerned, like it knew I was. And at the time this happened, right at the beginning of all this happening, or just before this really took off or started, I saw this thing with my own eyes. But anyway, I won't get into that too much now. But let me tell you, like I say, do not be deceived. Right, and I think... Sorry, I cut it off then. I think all this, I might be wrong, but I think all this takes place once the evac is done. Because I also have a code that says I will be the liar's antichrist, and you be the liar's antichrist. And like I say, the liar is Trump, because I think what's going to happen is when the ship comes, they're going to say that obviously if I'm the one that's been greeting them and on the, trying to convince everybody that this is not the fallen angels or Project Bluebeam, or they're not against this. You can be saved and leave this planet before the fire arrives, and we're moving on to that. Okay, bear with me a second. Okay, so firstly we connected the Palisades, but it says use Indiana. The reason for this is because obviously people are going to, never mind the fact that I've got this massive this corn flail that basically tells you about the downfall of America and an angel's sign. Okay, so a corn flail. So you know this is not a coincidence. What he says is use Indiana. Okay, the only reason I found this because I listened to, I'm not even going to mention his name, but a preacher who's selling salvation. Essentially, he's kind of like a Jesus thing, but he does he does a program with this guy that comes on, and I just listen to it with interest sometimes. But what he's doing essentially getting right with Jesus and everything else. And this is how I knew what the Indiana bit was, because he said I'm just a poor boy from the cornfields of Indiana. And when it said that, I realised that then when I put the code together, it was pretty obvious what was being said. So what it's saying is tying this. The cornfields, a corn I fail, not that there's a fire in Indiana, not yet, but there will be, because the whole thing's going to go. And that's where this comes in. Okay, the corn I fail, so we've got the cornfields of Indiana. Right, use Sphinx. Right, this is just so you really know what the warning's about. Sphinx is an anagram of pins HX. I already worked this out, done this code long ago. Phoenix event is opens HX event. Right. Why HX? Right, it's because, and note that the Fornax, the furnace, was the constellation that was the F in fire for the Palisades fire as well. But what this says is, and I'll do it, it says H, fear, fear not. Nice. X. Okay. So obviously, and then note as well, the next part of the code says here's H. What was it? Something the true angel or whatever it's. Oh, what's it say? Got so many codes on the go, yeah. It says, he is H, the true RGHLZ angel icon. I'll come to that. I'm hoping if this video uploads, it'll be a miracle. But H, basically, I don't need to fear not the furnace X. What is X? X is Reuben. It's the tribe of Reuben. What is Reuben? I think that's the spelling of it, yep. Nibiru X. Nibiru is the fiery planet, the planet of the crossing as well, it's known as. Notice there was a big X over America as well with the full moon eclipse code in it. And then you've got the scythe as well going on there. This is California, this area here. Like I say, I could keep going into this, but there's X. Like I say, you just could not make this up. It's also known as Planet X. Nibiru is known as Planet X. And Reuben, by the way, the 10th tribe that became Rome. They're a British tribe, the Atrebates. They're the tribe of Reuben in the lost 10 tribes of his rule, not Israel, or lost 10 tribes of Siluria. Okay, so the Reuben, and then you've got Planet X. And that is the final. This is what the evac is all about. Why you need the 999 and the evac ship. Because that thing, I don't know where it is, and have they seen it? I don't know. But they're preparing to ride it out for some stupid reason. But this is what's going on, people. I don't want to put the fear into anybody, but if it gets you to put your hands up, stand a letter wide, put your sins on your palms, and don't repent. I might be wrong, but I just repent is serpents. So if you're repenting, you're offering to serpents again. It could all be part of a deception. So what I tend to do is just say sorry and apologise. Offer my sins up. You put your sins on your palms, offer them up. You stand a letter wide, and you ask for forgiveness. His name is Yah. So you pray to Yah, not Ra, and that's what's going on. Okay, bear with me a second. Okay, folks, the angel icon. And like I say, I've said this. This was actually the last word I decoded was the word icon. At first I thought I seen true angel, and I had to readjust it all. But it said true angel, and I couldn't even see what the icon was. I thought it was icon. I thought it was something like somebody had tricked somebody, and then it hit me. It's the icon, because going back many videos ago, I drew this and decoded this, and it comes from this symbol. This symbol is where that dollar symbol is, and the star, the star I showed you at the Cancer star is there. And obviously, oh yeah, that's got a big G in the middle. These are smaller ones, but I decoded all of those as well. But what you've got is let's have a look. MELIN. Melin is the key, basically. Is the key. The key is it's the H. It's the fork with the key. The LZ. The G is the RV, which is from the River Severn, which I think is probably your river code as well on this. Your river Sinarvi or Sinarvi, probably Sinarvi River, I'm guessing. The River Severn. That's the River Severn. So you've seen RV. Well, the RV this is your RGH code. But it's also, right, this is where it gets real clever. Okay, what I've done is that's the name of the fort, Clan Melin. That's David, I add V, or add VID, depending if you're willing to accept one D or not, but there's a provision for that in the matrix as well. But what you've got, from this you get, these are tribes, these are decoded tribes. 3 is the Regnensis, these are English, or two Welsh and 1 English actually. They're the Regnensis tribe. Number 8 is the Desi Angli, and 9 is the Siluri. This is why you got 999 as well. Okay, so right, so from that there you get Siluri Angel, and then you get End Regenesis. I think it's either Regenesis End, which is the old one, because really Noah was a Regenesis, it was a restart, or I see End Regenesis, the new start, I'm not sure, but either way is clearly what it says. Right, now this is where it gets clever, because what you've got is a C left over there, and what we need to do is take this L out and put it there. So now right, that's not brilliant, but what we've got there is LZ, landing zone. Okay, then this small C out of there goes there, and then the bigger one, which is this one here, there's the Z that goes there, there's the I that goes there, there's obviously the Z, the C then, the big C goes there. Because the CC, as I did in the last video, so locking in Mon's temple, so locking in Mon's key. Well, this is the temple is the G, The key is the H. Well, it is. The H is the key to everything, and the H is same as H is Messiah. I don't know. Well, you tell me. But like I say, how did I even do all this? I did it because I've been shown it, and it's way beyond. Oh, and also that's the ankh, by the way. This is the yoke that goes on, brings the ox out of Egypt, out of the system, because I had a business and I gave it all up. But what it is the O key, it's the Orion key. And the Orion key is the ankh. So you put the ankh and then you tau Rus. The Rus is G Rus, and you tau it, you put the tau on, that's the new robes. And then basically, like I say, followed his rule, became Siluri H. Simple as that. Right, okay, and right, I'm just going to move into the last bit, because if this uploads, it'll be a miracle. Okay, bear with me, folks. Okay, folks, right, I said I would do this one I've kind of known, I didn't know the second part, but I knew the first part of this code, but there was something missing, and it's come to light. Obviously, I've been waiting for the prompt, really, and this question, revelation, end truth is really the prompt. Okay, it says, and this is, again, it says it in Revelation, but he also says something about the Alpha and the Omega in the Old Testament as well. But this obviously comes from the old Ancient Welsh Bible. It says, I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last, I think. Right, okay. Now, Jesus, or they wrote that Jesus repeats this statement because he thinks it's about a person. Okay, but what he doesn't or what they didn't realise when they made this story, all this up, is that this is actually a very, very clever code. Okay, the first thing you've got to do to uncode, because if Jesus is the Alpha and the Omega, I would, you explain this. The first thing we're going to do is hang on, we need a bit more space here. Right. There's a reason I'm doing this, because this is how literally this is the weirdest thing of how I encoded it. Okay, now you're expecting, right, there are two endings coded in the same thing. Very clever. The first ending, the good one, is Game Orion. Okay. Right, how do I know? Right, the game Orion is to solve, is essentially what I've done is to find, to basically wear the yoke, carry the yoke, create the angel, basically put the message out there, follow the rules, follow the Sabbath, get the code, basically, and put Yah's name out there and warn everybody what is coming. Okay, in a nutshell. Okay, now, this is where it gets real clever. Okay, so then what I realised was that this says, remember, Jesus said he is the Alpha and the Omega. Bear in mind, Yah has no beginning and the end, so I knew it wasn't him, that's for certain. Okay, tribe on. And then I thought, tribe, and I'm thinking, what does he mean by tribe on? Well, it's simple. The alphabet board, Game Orion. This is the alphabet board, or symbolic of the alphabet board. The beginning, it will be Eden, but it's represented by the Apple code, the A to Z. This is the beginning, and that is the beginning and the end, the first and last letter of the alphabet, all decoded on the board, and obviously decoding the game of Orion. Okay, right. There's an alternate ending if there's no board involved. Okay. This time we're not going to use. So those that ignore the alphabet board, Game Orion. Okay, because this is what it means. If you go with the Revelations bet or gamble, that's your Jesus, waiting for Jesus. This is a one sail ship. When this ship comes, you have one opportunity to get on it, basically. This is what they're going to call it. They're going to do everything in their power to basically make out this is, I guarantee I will be labelled the Antichrist, I have no doubt. But now you know that the code for the real Antichrist, I've told you up front, obviously he's already revealing himself as it anyway, because everything is lining up. But they're actually putting this in. Now, there's just one more thing I want to just show you as well. Again, I've done this before, but anybody new, it's worth seeing it because it really sums it all up and puts the Z on the end. So see, my A to Z started with the code in Aries the Ram. Okay, bear in mind that's April 2020 vision was when I realised that, well, I started basically just after COVID, and I started doing my Sabbaths and everything else in the month of Aries the Ram. But just before it, so Aries would be my the start of it, and then obviously, and this is leading to the, so my A to Z is in there. But on top of that, angels always carry messengers. An angel is a messenger by the absolute word of it, and we're better placed than to have a message. I forgot my own name. Right, in Welsh, Ap is son of, basically, and my father's name was Melvin Guy. This is where the clan Melvin comes in as well. Remember Melin when I had VID? Okay, but what this actually says now is, and all I have to do is add in the Z to complete it, the completion of it. Join H on map evac Gymru LZ. Like I say, folks, you really need to basically, and Gymru, by the way, for anybody who doesn't know, is the Welsh word, the actual Welsh word for Wales changed to Cymru. But as you come into Wales from England, straight on the sign it always says Gracio Gymru, welcome to Wales. Gymru, G-Y, which is also an anagram of Mr. Guy as well. Okay, all right, on that note, folks, what you need to do, question Revelation's end truth. That's what I ask you to do, is question it, because I am not making this code up. And like I say, if I were to come to you and say, oh God, and I hear all these people that Jesus spoke to them and God spoke to them and everybody but sundry spoke to them, he isn't speaking to any of them. It's all in there. Well, we've been indoctrinated to believe all this, and it's difficult for me to even say some of this. If it wasn't for this code, I can assure you I would not be saying any of this. But ultimately, this is what you need to do. You need to put your sins on your palm symbolically, lower your head, basically offer your sins up. And this is me praying. If you go with the CNRV, the River Severn, and then what you've got again on the bottom is you've got the exact map, because, oh yeah, with the two forts, the lock and the key, all you do is put the, that's not the best, but that's supposed to be the moon. That's basically the coordinates for the safe zone. That would be the lock, the key. That would be the padlock. So basically, by looking down, I'm basically looking into the reflection. This is why Solomon's seal is. Oh, I could go into it even more, but I best leave it there. But this is what you need to do, folks. Call on Yah and stop saying, because you're only. And he isn't going to save you. And Jesus isn't either. He is not coming. I'm absolutely convinced of it. And it's been very, it's difficult for me as it might be for you to realise that we've been lied to. Absolutely lied to. All religion is a reskinned apple. It's the reskinned apple of Eden. It's the offer of eternal life. Surely you won't die. Basically, and that's what it is. Jesus is not true. It's a Roman Catholic, early church creation by evil men. When the Siluri were abandoned, they've rewritten history, rewritten the Bible, and basically everything is mimicked in the Middle East, and it's not even, and what's going to, well, it doesn't even bear thinking about what will happen to Israel and everything else, but the time is coming. On that note, folks, thank you for watching, and well, maybe we'll have another video. I honestly don't know at this point. Yah's blessings.